being desired and attractive and irresistible to girls is just biology. Now, bro, I used to be just like you. I used to be just like every young man, and I used to think, man, why are girls just so unattracted to me? And they think like I'm very unattractive and I stink and I'm just this loser, right? I'm very unattractive and girls are just staying away from me. And the thing is, like, I never understood why I would be like so attracted to them, and I just love them, and I keep thinking about girls in school, right? All the time. Like, I'm just thinking about girls. That's the only thing I'm thinking about. Even more than studying and even more than school and anything, I was just obsessed with girls, right? And they don't care about me, and they just straight up think that I'm unattractive, right? But then when I got into self-improvement at 14 years old and 13 really, or 14 years old, I literally became a new person. Like, because the thing is, like, I would just keep complaining and being angry and being very emotional, like, why do they hate me? But really, I was just a weak loser. I was the weakest of all young men. I used to be socially anxious, depressed, hated my life. I used to play video games, eat junk food, scroll on social media all day, like stay up late, do all these terrible habits. Like, I was the worst of the worst. And now when I got into self-improvement, I got on self-improvement when I was 13, I'm 17 now, and my life's completely changed, especially my dating life, especially my life with girls and with the opposite sex, right? Like, I know, man, you're gonna think like I'm lying and, oh, of course you're lying, like you're not 6 foot or you don't have like the best genetics or whatever, but really, I'm telling you, man, when I go in self-improvement, I have every single day, like if I'm at school or at work, I'll have like a girl approach me. That's how powerful it is. Like, girls keep getting close to me and initiating conversations with me and holding eye contact with me and getting closer to me. And actually, I became attractive to girls. I actually became desired to girls just because I obsessed over self-improvement. Getting girls, being attractive to girls, what I realize now after years of self-improvement, is just biology. It's just biology. And I'm gonna explain it in this way that's literally gonna blow your mind, right? Like, this is the biology that we don't learn in class, but we wish we learned, right? The thing is, it all comes down to the sperm and the egg, right? So we as men, we have sperms, right? So we as men, as young men, like, every single day, we produce hundreds of millions of sperm, right? We produce hundreds of millions, like tons of sperm. So sperm is just cheap, right? It's because you produce like massive amounts of it every single day, right? And that's why, you know, you keep, like, young men keep watching porn and masturbating all day, because we produce like millions and millions of sperm, right? Hundreds of millions every single day. But with girls, it's eggs, right? They have eggs. And the thing is, eggs are way bigger than sperm. They are like 50,000 times bigger. That's how much I think that's how bigger they are, right? Like, just insanely bigger. Like, eggs, they're massive in comparison to the sperm. And a woman just produces 1 egg a month, right? Because, you know, women get pregnant and, you know, they carry children, right? But the thing is, because women only produce 1 egg per month and men produce hundreds of millions of sperm per day, women and girls are gonna be way choosier and way more selective in terms of sexual selection, right? In terms of mating. So that just explains the entire dating crisis. That's why girls think 80% of men are straight up unattractive. It's because a woman gives way more in terms of parental investment. Basically, they give way more time and energy to the children. So of course they're gonna want way more out of you. Of course they're gonna want way more out of men, and of course they're gonna only desire and obsess over a very small minority of men, and those are the men on self-improvement. The men who are improving themselves, the men who are taking care of their health, the men who are going to the gym, who are meditating, who are journaling, who are building businesses, who are becoming the best versions of themselves every day, who are masculine, who are ambitious. Very few men are like that. And that's what I want for you, bro. I want you to join self-improvement. I want you to become the best version of yourself. I don't want to sell you a course. I don't want you to buy anything from me. I just want you to be the best version of yourself. And that's why I created this movement of self-improvement for young men, right? Because of how much like self-improvement changed my life, man. I'm telling you, like when I got on self-improvement, like girls literally became obsessed with me just because I obsessed over self-improvement. It's really that simple. Now, what do you improve yourself in terms of biology? Like, what do women actually want biologically? Now, for us as men, it's very simple. What we want are just cues to fertility. Basically, what that means is just beautiful women. You know, soft skin, you know, big breasts, big butts, right? Health. That's what we want. And most women are beautiful, and most women are healthy enough to have children, basically. And that's why me and you, we are attracted to most women, right? But for women, it's completely different. What they are attracted to is split into short-term and long-term. I'm gonna try and explain this as simply as possible, but basically it depends heavily on something called the menstrual cycle. Basically, in a month, every month, women have very different emotions. Like every week, basically she goes through. That's why women are way more emotional than men in general, right? Because they have, you know, way more estrogen and way more oxytocin, right? And they have that menstrual cycle every single month. So their emotions and their desire changes according to the month. Now, in the short term, what women want is good genes. And good genes just basically means masculine, dominant, confident men. And men who are muscular, who have like a aesthetic physique, like wide shoulders, wide back, narrow waist, right? Strong legs. Just very, you know, the aesthetic physique, you know, like that stereotype of like the masculine, muscular type of guy, confident, ambitious, just dominant, the dominant man. That's what women want in the short term, and it makes complete sense in terms of biology. That's the man women want in terms of like casual sex and short-term flings and sex, right? That's what women are sexually attracted to in the short term, because that man is what will give her the best sperm and will give her the best children, right? So if she just has like sex with him, that's amazing. That's like very, very good, right? Because it's the sexy son hypothesis. Basically what that means is a woman will mate with that man because subconsciously she will believe that his genes will be carried on to her son, and her son will have those genes with women and he will carry them on, right? So she will reproduce successfully. Basically every single thing we do as human beings, if you strip it all down to biology, it's just to survive and to reproduce. That's it. That's it. That's all we care about as a biological species. Survive and reproduce, right? So good genes in the short term, right? And that's why I always talk about build an aesthetic physique, be more confident, be more ambitious, right? Like just building like going to the gym and building muscle, packing on like 10, 20 pounds of muscle. Yeah, like you will go from like, I hate using this scale or whatever, but you will go from like a 5 out of 10 to like a 7 out of 10, or even an 8 out of 10, just doing that. And you will be sexually attractive. All right? Now, what about long term? In the long term, what women desire most is the man who has resources. So in the short term, it's good genes. In the long term, it's resources, competence, money, really. It's the rich man, it's the wealthy man, it's the man who's stable, who's very loving, who's very kind. Really, it's the opposite of this man. And that's why women need to have this trade-off, right? Between the short-term dominant man and the long-term competent man. And that's why, like, we always see this nowadays. We always see this, and this has always happened actually for throughout our evolutionary history as human beings, right? Is a woman will commit to and love and overwhelmingly just commit to the stable man who has like resources, who's like very wealthy, who has like a lot of money, who can actually provide for her and her children, right? She will commit to that man in the long term, but she will have affairs and go to and have sex with the other man, the dominant man, the man who's has like an aesthetic physique, who's like very confident, who's very ambitious, right? Now you might think, oh, but women are sluts, women are hoes, women are, but it's really just biology. It's not you, it's biology. Because they want the best of both worlds, really. They want the man with the best, healthiest sperm, but at the same time, they want the man who will give them the resources and give them the love and the commitment and the money that they actually need. Because, like, think about it from the woman's perspective. Like, she will get pregnant for 9 months. 9 months with a child in her belly, right? And have all this, you know, postpartum depression and all these emotions and all these hormones in flux. She will have to carry that for 9 months. So of course she wants the best man, right? Now what happens when a man has both good genes, so cues to good genes, like, you know, being muscular, masculine, ambitious, confident, having the aesthetic physique, and at the same time cues to resources, like being loving, being kind, being, you know, very generous, having money, right? Having a lot of money, having resources, being high status, right? If a man has both cues to good genes and both cues to resources, he becomes the ultimate prize. He becomes the ultimate prize in terms of biology, in terms of evolution. Like, that is the best man for women. You literally become the ideal man for women. Like the ultimate man. The alpha male, the top man. And if you think about it, that's why women read romance novels. In fact, women don't actually want to have a trade-off between two men. They don't want two men. What women desire most, what women obsess over most, is a man who has both cues to good genes and cues to resources. The top man, the best man, the man with the best looks, the most money, the most status, the most confidence, the most ambition, the most masculine man, the best man. And how do you become that man? You become that man through self-improvement. You literally become like the hero in romance novels. That's why, like, romance novels are literally porn for women. They make billions every single year because they are literally just porn for women. And what are romance novels? Like, the plot of every romance novel is just this innocent, attractive young girl who tames this alpha who has like the best looks. So he's like very, very muscular. He's very rich. He's like very confident. He's like a businessman or a king or an emperor, right? He's very confident, even arrogant, right? Sometimes they hate each other. Sometimes they love each other. Sometimes he's even like very, very dominant and aggressive, right? That's all it comes down to, man. Being desired by girls is just biology. That's it. All right. I really hope I gave you value in this video. And like, if you got nothing out of this video, just understand this. Women want the best man, and the way to become the best man, the best and the fastest way to become the best man, is to lock in on self-improvement. Is to improve every single area of your life. Meditating, journaling, working out, reading books, building a business, right? I promise you, if you do that, and you do that for like a very long time, you will be the man women want. It's just that simple, because it's just biology, right? So that's what I learned. As always, we're in this together, and we will make it.